وسلم على نبي عليه السلام صلاة تدوم وتهدى إليه مدار الليالي وطول الدوام محمد رسول الله. Möge deine Seele
May his soul
in der göttlichen Gegenwart auch ewig
in the divine
erleuchtet
presence
werden.
forever be enlightened.
هذه صلاة عظيمة لحق يا سيدنا محمد. هذه صلاة عظيمة لحق يا سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. Eines Tages
Once, or on one day, someday,
kam jemand und fragte über
someone
das
came and
Schicksal.
asked about destiny.
Und es wird erzählt, dass Sayyidina Mohammed nie so
And
verärgert gesehen wurde.
it was told that Sayyidina Muhammad was never being seen so angry before.
Diese Frage hörte, wurde
Once he heard that
sehr
question,
verärgert.
he got really angry.
Und sagte, schweigt,
And he said, "Be quiet.
frag nicht über das Schicksal.
Don't ask about destiny.
Das ist ein Geheimnis.
It's a secret.
Viele sind untergegangen, dass sie
Many
gebohrt haben da.
Many went under because of digging there.
Meine Philosophen und Aulia Himmet. Wir bitten Unterstützung.
We ask for support.
Niemand kann sein Schicksal.
Nobody knows his destiny.
Was gestern war, hat man erlebt.
What happened yesterday, you experienced that.
Und wenn man sogar das heute erreicht hat, hat man gestern überlebt.
And even if you got to today, you survived yesterday.
Egal wie diese gestern war.
No matter what that yesterday was.
Mit Leid oder
Either full of pain and suffering or full of joy.
wenn mit Freude ist, dass gestern mit ihren Freuden sind so Halluzination Fata Morgana geworden.
The joys of yesterday turned into acts of hallucinations, pieces of hallucinations.
Und auch das Leid.
And even the pain.
Auch das Leid ist von uns weggegangen.
And even the suffering went away again.
Nicht das Leid von gestern auf heute übertragen.
And we shouldn't transfer the pain and suffering from yesterday to today.
Und was morgen mit sich bringt, wissen wir nicht.
And what's going to happen tomorrow, we don't know.
Allah weiß es.
Only Allah knows.
Und hat das alles vorherbestimmt, vorhergesehen und aufgeschrieben.
And He destined everything, and He foresaw everything, and He wrote it down.
Es ist verborgen, was morgen mit sich bringt.
And it's hidden from any sight what's going to happen tomorrow.
Für die meisten der Menschen ist es verborgen.
For most of the people, it's hidden and unknown.
Für nur einige kleine Gruppe der Menschen ist es offenbart.
For only a very few people, just a small group of people, it has shown to. Those are the prophets and saints.
Warum können sie das Schicksal hineinschauen, den Morgen, Übermorgen und sehen und wir nicht, wir normale Menschen?
So how come they can see into destiny what's going to happen tomorrow and the day after tomorrow?
Weil sie können das tragen.
because they actually can take
Ihr Schicksal
on that
tragen.
burden. They can bear the destiny,
Egal, was es mit sich bringt.
no matter what it brings.
Ob was Gutes,
May,
Freudiges
may it be something good, something joyful,
oder Schlechtes, Leidvolles.
or may it be something bad and full of pain and
Sie können
suffering.
beides tragen.
They can bear the burden.
Und wenn Sie sehen, Ihr Schicksal endet im Paradies,
And if they see that their destiny ends in
Sie
paradise,
werden niemals den Maß verlieren und maßlos werden, weil Sie gesehen haben, Sie gehen ins Paradies.
they never lose their way and become without means, without limits, because they are sure to enter paradise.
Und Sie können alles tun, machen und tun, was Sie wollen. Nein.
And they think that they can do whatever to what they please to. No,
Sie sind immer im richtigen Verhalten und
they are always in the right behavior and on the right path and have that full
wenn Sie
discipline.
sehen, Ihr Schicksal endet in der Hölle,
And if they can see that their destiny is going to be hell,
ewige Leid,
eternal suffering,
und Sie können das tragen, Sie werden
and they can
niemals Ihre
still
Hoffnung verlieren
bear that burden, and they will never lose hope,
und niemals Ihren Schöpfer protestieren und rebellieren.
and they will never go against their creator and rebel against him.
Und wir Menschen müssen akzeptieren,
And we humans, we have to accept,
wie Allah geschrieben hat, vorherbestimmt hat, wir können das nicht ändern.
no matter what Allah wrote for us and destined for us, we can't change that.
Vielleicht können wir doch ändern,
Chance of change,
weil wir wissen ja nicht,
because we don't
ob die
know
kommenden Tage mit Leid kommen oder mit Freude.
whether the days to come are full of pain or full of joy,
Weil es ist ja uns verborgen.
because we can't see it, it's hidden from
Deshalb
us.
können wir hoffen.
So that's why there's hope for
Und
us.
das ist die Prüfung der gläubigen Menschen.
And that's the test the believer has to
Allah verlangt
face.
von uns gläubigen Menschen, dass wir niemals die Hoffnung verlieren.
Allah the Creator wants us to never lose hope.
Auch wenn gestern und heute nicht so gut waren für uns.
Even if yesterday and today wasn't so good for us.
Niemals die Hoffnung verlieren, dass der Morgen uns was Gutes bringt.
Never lose hope that tomorrow might bring some joy, something good for us.
In einer Zeitspanne, in einem Moment kann sich alles verändern.
In just one moment, everything can change.
Allah, der sich nicht verändert, aber alles verändert.
Allah is the one who is not changing but can change everything else.
In einem Moment,
And in just
von
one
einer
moment,
Situation in eine andere Situation.
from one situation to the next,
Von einem Zustand in einen anderen Zustand.
from one state into another state.
Lachst du oder weinst du?
Are you laughing or are you crying?
Sheikh, ich weiß es auch nicht.
Sheikh, I really don't know.
Eben musste ich weinen.
Just right now I was crying my eyes
Dann hat
out,
jemand gekitzert, jetzt muss ich lachen.
and then somebody started tickling me and I had to start laughing.
Aber nachdem du gefragt hast, muss ich wieder weinen.
But now that you ask again, I have to cry again.
Lach mal wieder.
Well, then start laughing again.
Der Mensch lachen und weinen.
Because the human being is standing between crying and laughing.
Hoch und runter.
Up and down.
Und runter und hoch.
And down and up.
Was ist das für ein Phänomen?
So what do you call that, such a phenomenon? That's the heart rate.
Dein Lebenszeichen.
So how does that sign of living look like?
Was ist das Zeichen für das Leben?
So
Dass
what-
dein Herz funktioniert, dass du lebst.
So what is the sign that you're alive and that you're living?
Hoch,
Up
runter,
and
hoch,
down, up
runter,
and
hoch,
down, up
runter,
and down,
runter.
up, down and up.
Und die ignoranten Menschen, unwissende Menschen,
And those ignorant people,
ahnungslose Menschen,
not knowing
die
people,
wollen
They only want to have a flat line, nothing, no ups and no downs, everything straight. But then you're dead. And you have no idea what's really good for you. Maybe that up and down is good for you. Because you get everything from life. And you experience and realize everything what's happening and existing, everything that's up and down existing. The suffering in existence and the joy in existence. Only good news? We don't know what kind of merit that shall have, what value that has. One is a bad, black messenger, and then a good message comes, and then you'll know. And you know how to appreciate it, what a good news is. A bad message makes your heart go cramping and you feel like suffocating. All hope is gone. And then suddenly a good news comes and your heart is opening up and you can breathe in freely. So how do you call that phenomena? You are still the same human being. And depending on what message you receive and how pictures change and how the situations change, your state changes as well. All the states. And those are part of your destiny. And Allah says, I'm going to put you on trial. And try us with what? With the states. I will get you into all kinds of situations and states and take you out again. And I'll look and have a look who's patient or not. And I'll have a look who lost their patience or not. And I will take a look who's holding on to the rope of hope, or who's letting go and is falling down. Or you human being with a mind and logic thinking. What good does it do if you let go of the rope of God? How much longer should I hold on to that rope? I can't go any further. Clench your teeth and buttocks together. And you're also allowed to make that squeaky noise with the teeth, but never let go. Never let go of the rope of God that gives you hope and a certain standing and stability. Never let go. Because the Lord can change everything from one moment into another. Unexpectedly, He's changing it. Just as Rumi said, when all hope seems to be at its peak, and all hope seems to be destroyed completely, a very new future starts and new hope comes. Just in that moment where you don't let go of yourself and don't let loose, but hold on to that patience, divine intervention will come and gives you support. and gives divine opinion. Because you're being put on trial and tested. With dying without having to die. That's the way of the Sufis. That's the path of the believer. Dying before actually dying. In that situation, that is between life and death, hope and hopelessness, you will always be put into that and brought into. So on what do you want to hold on to?
Lass es los, du hast nichts mehr zu wagen, du hast nichts mehr zu gewinnen, du hast nichts mehr zu hoffen.
Or your inner voices are going to tell you, let go of that rope. You've got nothing to win, nothing to hope for, nothing to gain. But exactly in that moment, don't listen to that inner voices. Don't listen to yourself. No kind of whispering. Just exactly in that moment, we need the Sheikh that says straight on to us. If you can't tell what's the difference between all those inner voices, leave it. Don't do it. You can get lost and you get confused and still listen to the wrong voices. And those wrong voices, as I'm going to tell you, is a hint for you all. So how can you distinguish those inner voice that's wrong for you and the voice of the Sheikh? Because the Sheikh is always with you, constantly. A true Sheikh will never ever tell you, let go, and let go of yourself as well. Lose all hope. That's never from the Lord, never from the Prophet, and never from the Sheikh. Never. That's a great piece of advice for all of us, and we should write it under and behind our ears. All other voices are from Shaitan and your ego. And if we listen to them and let loose and give up all hope, so what will happen to you? The fire of hell will get to you and you will get burned up to ashes. And you will be suffering. And you did it all to yourself. Millions and billions of people don't have a very true spiritual guidance. And it may be that they are suffering because they don't know what is right and what is wrong. But you have a true Sheikh. And you don't listen to him. And all the pieces of advice he has given you, you don't listen to them as well. That's misuse and abuse and waste of all the spiritual guidance you got. And then you will suffer as well. Because you got the chance that millions and billions of people didn't get. And you let it slip.
O ihr Gläubigen.
O you believers.
Ohne Zweifel haben wir ein Schicksal geschrieben bekommen.
Without a doubt, we all have a destiny being written to us. But there are two books of and one will always have an happy end. And the other one, well, that is going to have a hippie end. If you're listening to the recommendations of the Sheikh, of his pieces of advice, the guidance of the Sheikh is always going uphill, thorny, and full of thorns and very narrow
immer dicht an Abgründe.
and always close to the abyss.
So als jeden Moment denkst du stößt ab und
And
in einen
every time
Abgrund.
you have the feeling that you're about to fall and fall into the abyss and falling down.
Aber das ist der kürzere Weg
But that's the short way
zum Tal der Glückseligkeit und Sicherheit.
to the valley of happiness and
Und
safety.
das ist eine Täuschung, der Sheikh wird dich niemals fallen lassen.
And remember that a misconception, the Sheikh will never let you fall. Never.
Du musst Vertrauen haben.
You have to trust him.
Ende gut, alles gut.
Happy end, good end.
Und wer das Teil Gottes, das Teil der Hoffnung Gottes nicht losgelassen hat,
And those who didn't let go of the rope of God
mit falschen Hoffnungslosigkeiten,
with false hopefulness,
wer das Teil Gottes nicht losgelassen hat, wird Allah niemals ihn fallen lassen.
and those who never let go of the rope of God, Allah will never let him go. And that's our belief, and that's our trust in that fact.
Sogar in Dollarschein krass in Gott geschrieben steht.
And even if it's written on a dollar bill, trust and God we trust.
In dein Hals muss das auch stehen, trust in Gott.
And that's what you have to also inscribe into your heart, and God we trust.
Warum herrscht Dollar in dieser Welt?
So Allah rule this world
Weil dieses Wort da geschrieben steht.
because that word is written there.
Trust in Gott.
In God we trust.
Wir glauben, vertrauen Gott.
We believe and we trust God.
Das ist nur ein Papierschein.
And that's only a piece of paper,
Sogar Materialismus
sign of
steht
materialism on it.
aufrecht.
Even materialism
Aber
is
wegen dieser-
standing up because of that word, of those words, of that phrase.
Es ist wie Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
And it's similar to Bismillahir
Solange
Rahmanir
an den
Rahim.
Flaggen der Osmanen
As long
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim geschrieben stand,
as Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim was written on the
wir haben in dieser Welt
on the flags of the Ottomans, they were ruling, and nobody could touch them.
rausgenommen.
And then somebody came and took out the Bismillah from the flag, and everything fell down. The empire was gone.
Lass in dein Herz schreiben, I trust in Gott.
And
Ich
let
vertraue
it be written into your heart. In God we trust. In God I trust. I trust in God. And I trust my Sheikh, and I will follow his recommendations, no matter how painful it may be.
Das Ende wird gut sein.
Because the end is going to be
Wenn
good.
gestern und heute etwas leidig war,
Even if yesterday and today seem to be a little bit
ich
sufferishly,
sollte mich nicht beleidigt fühlen
it should never be
und nicht die Hoffnung
insulted
verlieren
and never lose hope.
und meine Hoffnung auf morgen investieren.
And I should always invest my hope into tomorrow.
O ihr Gläubigen,
Or you believers.
und wenn die Hoffnung für heute und gestern nicht so gut investiert war,
And even if you didn't invest hope into yesterday and today,
dass du so denkst,
and you are thinking like that,
investiert, dass du gestern und heute überlebt hast, durch diese
But-
Hoffnung.
keep in mind, because of that hope, you survived yesterday and
Investiere
today.
weiter
And keep on investing
in morgen.
in tomorrow.
Immer in morgen weiter
Always
investieren.
keep on investing into tomorrow. That's hope.
Und du wirst sehen,
And you'll see
Allah schaut,
Allah will look at you
ob man ihm wirklich vertraut oder
if
nicht.
you truly trust Him or not.
Dein Schicksal
Your destiny
wird sich verbessern und
Will get better.
ein gutes Ende haben,
and have a good end
nur
happen
wenn du Gott Vertrauen hast.
only if you trust in God.
Und Gottes Stellvertreter auf
And-
Erden,
All the representatives of God,
einen spirituellen Meister, den Sheikh.
And that is your spiritual master, your Sheikh.
Im Namen Gottes steht für dich da.
And he is there in the name of
Und
God.
seine Empfehlung ist nicht eine Empfehlung eines normalen Menschen.
And his recommendation, it's not a recommendation of a normal human
Auch wenn
being,
normal aussieht.
even though he may look like a normal human being.
Oder in deinen Augen ein bisschen anormal.
Even though in your own eyes he may look
Aber seine
abnormal.
Empfehlung
But his recommendations are from up above.
Du willst doch mit Gott sprechen.
You want to talk to God, right?
Spricht durch sein Mikrofon mit dir
And
und
he's
du
talking
willst
to
es nicht
you
glauben.
through his microphones and you don't want to believe it.
Der Sheikh ist Lautsprecher des Gottes.
And the Sheikh is the speaker of the Lord.
Box.
The box, the speaker box.
Und deine Antwort kriegst du über ihn.
And you always get your answer through him.
Und denk nicht, hat dir nur so einfach, wie nennt man das?
And don't think that
bei geflüstert, mach mal so und so weiter und dann ohne Interesse weitergezogen.
And don't think he just said it like that, do it like this, and then he went on and he wasn't interested in your suffering, in your being. No, no, no.
Das kann nicht sein, weil Allah sagt,
can't be, because Allah says, I'm closer to you than your vein.
Leid oder Freude,
Before you start feeling any pain or joy, I'll go through that experience, that joy and or pain. And believe me, if you are supposed to get suffering, the Lord will suffer more because he's suffering more, because he feels with you, he's compassionate, and he's feeling pity for you, and he's being pain with you. Why? Because his life is his. Your life is his. Your life is part of his life. Everything that you are about to feel, all the pain and joy, you have to believe me, Allah is feeling that first hand. He knows exactly what you feel. But he says, be patient. Don't count the years, the months and days, and how old you've got. Oh, how much longer still? Oh, I still haven't got a husband or a spouse. I'm still already 60. So what? Maybe once you turn 61, you'll be lucky. Or 65. Or 70, you might get a child. So never lose hope. Because Allah can change everything. Everything is in His hand, isn't it? You want to have a good destiny, don't you? So don't ask about destiny. But live properly. Think properly. And let yourself be guided properly by the recommendations and pieces of advice of God. Not your moods, your states or situation. Let them tell you what to do. Never listen to those voices. Never listen to yourself. That's the worst thing that you could do. Listen to the Sheikh and listen to Allah, where he says, be patient. I'm going to let you die before you actually are about to die. He already told us what he's going to have to do to us. He will make us die before we are actually dying. And that's the suffering of dying. And the pain of death. And without a doubt,
jedes Ego wird den Tod schmecken.
And without a doubt, every ego and every human, every soul have a taste of death. Every human being would taste death. I'm sorry. Ego and human being. That's the taste. And the Sufi understood that. You will never die. And Allah will never let you die. But you will have a taste of death. And you get through the suffering of death and have a taste of it with the guidance of the Sheikh. You go through controlled dying, and you have to go through controlled pain, and under heavenly protection you will suffer. So don't go against it, don't rebel, and listen closely to the of the Sheikh, what he's telling you in all those situations. No matter what kind of state, mood you are in right now, no matter how much you burned and how much hopelessness you feel. If the Sheikh says or tells you, be patient, don't lose hope, wait. He is not lying to you. He is with you. He's feeling with you, and he's feeling your pain. But he's making sure that the promise of Allah will be fulfilled, as you will die before dying. Which means you have to taste the state of death. And once you taste death, that is pain and it's suffering. So that, but it's so for us not to suffer in pain and fear when we are actually dying. Allah lets the Sufi, which is who is a spiritual pupil, through his spiritual master, he's being guided by him through that path of dying. You are not alone. Don't be afraid. He will guide you through hell. And if he's guiding you through hell, it will get hot. And it will get even hotter. And you get the feeling of being burned alive. But don't worry. You won't be burned to crisp. You only feel the winds of fire on your skin. But he will guide you through the hell to the exit and out of it. And eventually, and at the end of hell, paradise is awaiting for you. And Sayyidina Muhammad said, no human being will get into paradise without having passed hell. And the Sheikh is your caravan guide through the valley of death and pain. And you're tasting death and you wish you were dead. Because suffering is so much. But that will pass. And it's not true pain. Because nobody really knows the torture and pain of hell. And it isn't comparable to any pain or suffering in this world. And to the pain that all those inhabitants of hell have to feel. So don't say that I'm gonna burn in hell. It's not true. Be thankful that Allah sent you a spiritual guide.
der dich beschützen wird
and who will protect you
in der Hölle,
in hell,
in deiner eigenen Hölle.
in your own
Und
hell,
dann ein Beistand für dich sein wird, Begleiter,
and who will be a companion and a supporter for you
während dein Todeszustand.
while you're in a state of dying.
Er wird Zeuge sein, wie du den Tod schmeckst.
And he will bear witness to you being dead.
Er wird dafür aber sorgen, dass du nicht stirbst.
But he will make sure that you're not dying.
Er wird dir nur schmecken lassen.
He will only give you a taste of
Aber
dying.
es ist alles kontrolliert.
But everything is under control,
Unter göttlicher Kontrolle.
under the control of
Mit
the
göttlichem
divine,
Versprechen auf Sicherheit.
with a divine
Du
promise
musst nur
of safety.
gläubig sein,
But you only have to be a believer,
Vertrauen
trust,
und Hoffnung haben.
and never lose hope and be full
Lass
of hope.
Allahs Hand. Und wenn der Sheikh dir gesagt hat, es wird alles gut,
Never let go of the hand of Allah. And when the Shaykh said everything's going to be good, it's going to be good. Don't leave hope and don't kill yourself.
und Selbstmord hat auch viele unterschiedliche Stufen.
And suicide also has many different steps and levels.
Dass du den Weg aufgibst, dass du deine Hoffnung aufgibst,
For you to
dass du
lose your
deinen
path,
Glauben aufgibst.
for you losing your hope, for you losing your faith. It's all are acts of suicide
Schlimmste Selbstmord.
and the worst kind of suicide.
Dass du auf dich selbst hörst
For you to listen to
und
yourself
nicht auf deinen Sheikh.
and not to your Shaykh.
Und das ist wahrhaftig
And that is true suicide.
und Selbstmord
And
ist
suicide
etwas, was Allah nicht mag.
is something that Allah doesn't like,
Weil sie werden auf ewig in der Hölle landen, sagt er.
because they will end up in hell forever.
Verstehen wir besser, was er damit meint.
And now we understand what he actually means by
Wenn du
that.
nicht auf die Empfehlung des Sheikhs hörst,
If
also
you're not-
Stimme Gottes,
If you're not listening to the
der
recommendations of
Sheikh
the
ist die Stimme
Shaykh,
Gottes,
as the Shaykh is the voice of God,
dann öffnest du dir die Türen deiner eigenen Hölle und du wirst da leiden.
then you'll open your own gates to hell, of your own hell, and you will suffer.
Weil du willst bestimmen über dein Schicksal,
Because you want to decide on your own destiny.
du willst dich selbst führen.
You want to guide yourself.
Wer sich selbst führen will,
Those who want to guide themselves
wird automatisch verführt werden vom Shaitan.
will surely be seduced
Und
by
er verführt
Shaitan,
dich immer in die Hölle.
and he always gonna seduce you to hell,
Er will ja nicht allein sitzen da.
because he doesn't want to be lonely there,
Er will Begleitung haben
and he wants to have companions for sure,
von Adams Kinder.
from all kids of Adam.
Möge Allah uns gutes Verständnis
May Allah
geben
give us good understanding, inshallah,
und uns ein gutes Schicksal schenken.
and grant us a good destiny.
Allahu, 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 Allah, Allahu, 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 Allah, Allahu, Allahu, Only one Sultan, only one truth. Hürmet-ül Habib al-Fatiha.